Hello, my name is Professor Joe Baker, an economics professor at SUU for 23 years. I've recently retired and I thought I would teach you a surefire, guaranteed way to become a millionaire if you follow my easy plan. This involves a very simple rule. It's called the compound interest, the rule of 70. Albert Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. And it's very easy to understand. Suppose you had $1,000 and you had it in an account that earned 7%. At the end of the first year, you would have $1,070, your original $1,000 plus 7% of $1,000, which would be $70. Now, the idea of compound interest means that you start year two with $1,070 and you're going to earn 7% on all that $1,070. So you're compounding, earning interest on interest. So if we march this out for 10 years, we can see that at 7%, we go to year 10, your account now is $1,967, or it's just about doubled in value. That gives us what is called the rule of 70, and this is just an approximation because it's a geometric progression, but if you divide 70 by your interest rate or your rate of return, you get the number of years for an investment to double. So if the interest rate is 7%, you divide 70 by 7 and you get 10 years. And in the example we just looked at, you saw that, yes, it did almost exactly double. So how do we want to use this? Let's think about an investment that you could make as a young person, say in your 20s in the stock market. The long-term average return in the US stock market has been approximately 12%. So if we divide 70 by 12, we get that your investment in the stock market, this is not doing better than the stock market or worse than the stock market, just the average. 70 divided by 12 will give a doubling every 5.8 years. So let's just round this to 6 years. Now suppose you're 20 years old and you have $3,000 and you have two choices. You invest it in the stock market or you buy a new motorcycle. So let's take, using the rule of 70, what your stock market investment would look like. So here at age 20, you put in the $3,000, and 6 years later, at age 26, you have $6,000. And let's just march this out to age 68. At age 68, you would have $768,000. This is not doing better than the stock market. This is just doing average. Now let's go back to making the decision, and let's assume that your 20-year-old decides to use the $3,000 to buy the motorcycle and delays investing in the stock market for 6 years. So now they put in the $3,000 at age 26. How much did that motorcycle cost them? And we can see, moving the investment forward, at age 68, you leave off that last doubling where the investment went from $384,000 to $768,000. So that motorcycle essentially cost you $384,000. So there's three components in an investment: the amount of funds that you have to invest, and for people college age or young adults in their 20s, this is usually a hilariously small, laughable amount of money. You really don't have anything. You've got all kinds of things you need to buy, cars, houses, so forth and so on. The second component of an investment, besides funds to invest, is the rate of return, and you can all invest in the stock market. We can all get that average 12%. And the third thing is the time period of the investment, how long you have to invest. Which of these three is the most important is by far and away the amount of time. So if you're in your 20s, you have the most important component to be successful financially, and that is time. And delaying even a short period of time, as we saw, 6 years, makes a huge amount of difference later on in your life. So even if you have $25 a month to invest, I would urge you to start an IRA and start investing in the stock market, even if it's only $25 a month. And as time goes on, and this is what I did as a young person, I would get a raise and I would bump that up, and I just kept doing that. And for most of my life, my retirement portfolio was a laughable small amount, and it was growing only by the amounts that I put into it. And then when I got in my 40s, an amazing thing happened, and that was that compound interest on the investments that I'd made started to become much bigger than the amount of money I was putting in, and it was truly an amazing thing. And then when I got in my 60s, I'm 70 now, I saw those huge doublings that you saw at the end of that. So you have time. You have the most important component. I've got one more example here that I wanted to show you to try to drive this home. And this is two twins, twin A and twin B, and with just a 10% rate of return. Twin A invests $1,000 a year from age 22 to 29, getting 10% return. So the total investment is 8 years, $8,000, and their account value at age 65 is $388,000, $865. Twin B is a little bit of a procrastinator and doesn't invest anything until they're age 30. So twin A has invested from age 22 to 29 and then stopped and just let the investments run. Twin B starts at age 30 and invests $1,000 every year until they are 65 years old. So their total investment is $365,000, and they still have not caught up with twin A. They have a little over $329,000. I don't want to plug any companies, but there are lots of good mutual fund companies. I invest with Fidelity, whose offices are in Salt Lake City. They have index funds, which is what you should invest in, index equity funds. They have very low expense ratios. You can call them up. I don't think they have any minimums. You can start those accounts for $25 a month or whatever you want. Set it up in an IRA or a Roth IRA, which would actually be better for a young person. Another excellent company who I've used for years is Vanguard, but they're all good companies. The key is to get started when you're young and just stick with it. Doesn't matter, market goes up, market goes down, just keep putting money in. And I guarantee you will be a millionaire. I hope you've enjoyed this.